Okay, I'm doing another drone footage, and the location of this one is Holywood Priory, and that's just on the outskirts of Belfast, on the shores of Belfast Lough. Now, Holywood, it's a very historic town, slightly larger than the village now, so it's definitely a town, and it had very early Christian heritage dating back to the 7th century. And it was in the 7th century that a Christian community moved in and lived in Holywood. So from the 7th century, just up the road from this priory actually is a motte, medieval motte, and no doubt the Christian community lived around that. But in 1190, this was when this priory was first built. Now, much of the original 1190 structure, as you can see, is still in evidence, and obviously there's the cemetery around it. There were some very, very early burials, but they've been moved to the North Down Museum. A 12th century coffin lid and some medieval stones were found in the graveyard, but there's still some very old graves in this graveyard. So this priory was built in 1190, and it remained in use really until approximately the 1500s, when I think, what was it, Henry VIII dissolved the monastery, and in fact there was a lot of religious buildings in Holywood that were burnt. It led, I think it was Brian O'Neill, burned the roofs of religious buildings in the whole Holywood and Bangor area, and it remained like that for approximately another 50 years or so, and then a new roof was restored in early 1600s. So it was back in use then as a religious building. The clock tower itself here, you can see it dates from 1844, so it wouldn't have been one of the earlier structures, but I think it was 1840 or something like that, the tower dates to. You can see it has super views over Belfast Lough. Now, the Presbyterians were thrown out in the mid 1600s, and then it was the Church of Ireland actually that took over this building whenever the roof was still in situ. They then moved across the road to another church that was built in 1844, and it just went into rack and ruin then. And then the roof collapsed. But the early walls are still in existence, dating back to 1190. Still some old burials within the cemetery. With lovely views over Belfast Lough and the hills beyond. See you again.